Let's see, time now 6:43. Nearly 5 million Lloyds TSB customers will have their accounts moved this summer as the bank breaks itself in two to satisfy European Union competition rules.
The existing group was too big and now 631 branches will be sold.
4.6 million customers will go to a separate company, the new TSB.
Their new accounts will be identical to the old and customers will keep their sort code, account number and passwords. But some customers are saying the changes weren't explained very clearly.
Let's run through some of this with Paul Lewis and Ready 4's Money Box. Morning, Paul.
Hello, Charlie.
First of all, do these people know yet?
Well, the people who are being moved to TSB will know. They will have been written to. Now, Lloyd says they wrote to them late last year, but some people are telling me they've only just heard. But anyway, they should all have been written to. If they're in one of these 631 branches, yes.
And it's presented to them as a fait accompli. Well, this is happening to you.
Yes, it is a fait accompli. It's been forced on them, as you said, by Europe. They have to do it. The bank doesn't want to do it. And these people have to be put into this new bank, and then that bank will eventually be sold. The only choice people have, if they really, really want to stay with Lloyds, and some people do, they have to be moved to the new bank, and then they have to apply to Lloyds as a new customer to open an account at a Lloyds branch, and that's a bit of a process. They might not accept you if your credit rating has gone down, and you could lose some of the good deals you had under your present regime.
And people get sort of, we're a bit funny about our banks, aren't we? We get sort of personally attached. So what are people saying about this change?
we all stick with them through thick and thin.
I know.
Well, some people are absolutely hating the fact that Europe, or the government as some of them see it, are forcing them to move, and that is actually exactly what's happening. I think most people probably are okay with it. The people who are happy, they'll become TSB customers. Now, you mentioned the things that would stay the same, but in fact their debit card number will be changed and their credit card number will be changed because they'll get the new brand. And some people have expressed concerns that if they're recorded with online sellers, or maybe they booked a holiday and they turn up and they say, well, where's the card you booked with? And they say, oh dear, this is a completely different card. They might have problems. But I think most of the people are probably going to be okay with it. But some do want to go back to Lloyds, and that process is difficult. Not Lloyds' fault, I have to say. Europe insists they cannot try and keep customers. That's part of the deal.
And on a practical basis, all arrangements they previously had with the one bank completely transfer? They can't change your sort of terms and conditions?
No. If they're moving to TSB, they transfer. The other group of people are going to have problems, though, I think, we're all associated with a branch, particularly with Lloyd. You join at a branch. Now, people may have joined 20, 30 years ago, so they're associated with that branch. Most of us move house more often than we move bank. So their branch that they joined with might become TSB. They're now living hundreds of miles away, and there may not be a TSB near them, but they could previously go into a local Lloyds branch and treat it as their bank. In fact, technically, their local branch was miles away. Now, some of those are going to have problems because once the transfer has been completed next year and the TSB has been sold off, they won't be able to use a TSB branch as if it was a Lloyds branch. And similarly, people who are not moving, people whose branch is not moving, may find suddenly that the local Lloyds that they've always used has become a TSB, and they're going to get a shock because the people who aren't moving to TSB won't have been written to at all.
Good. Thank you very much, Paul.
OK, back later. People are tweeting already.
Yeah, I'm sure to get reactions from people. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Just after 6:45, you're watching Breakfast on BBC News. The main stories this